Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and we're going into the debut of a new video segment called George Versus. Basically, let me explain it a bit. I'm going to take a topic that the heavy majority of the internet wrestling fans agree on, and I'm going to take the opposite side and explain why the common agreed upon notions aren't necessarily correct. The topic of this one, and we're coming out swinging, folks, reasons that John Cena is better than you think he is. I know, keep them coming in. Now we'll go right into the first reason. Children love Cena. If you guys could take and think back a little bit to when you were a kid, a lot of us grew up in either the Hulk Hogan era or the Steve Austin era. We all had our guy, whether it be The Rock, whether it be Austin, whether it be Hogan, whether it be Randy Savage, Bret Hart. There's always been that one guy that all the kids gravitated to, and John Cena is no exception. He's a guy that all the kids can like. He stands for everything the kids should believe in. He's a good, positive role model. He does charity work. He does all kinds of positive things. He doesn't curse. He stands up for the good and things. He helps his friends out. All the things that you would want in a superhero character. Yes, I know, the Super Cena. And tying into that brings the merch that they buy. Now, if you take your child that's under 13 years old to a WWE show, I guarantee that they're going to want a John Cena shirt, John Cena headbands, John Cena foam finger, John Cena car. Basically all the stuff that he has, just like we did when we wanted our Rock t-shirt, our Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania headband, whatever the flavor of that time was. And that goes a long way into who's being promoted, is the amount of merchandise that's sold. Far and away, John Cena is the highest selling merchandise person in the WWE, has been for a very long time. You know, the people that are second and third, they do respectable, but they don't touch him. And that's one of the reasons why he gets pushed to the top. You push the guy that sells the most. It's a simple concept. Just like on cars. You see commercials for the cars that sell the most because they do. You see the commercial for the F-150, best-selling truck in America. You see commercials for the Honda Accord, best-selling car in America. Why do they need commercials if they're the best-selling car? So they can tell you they're the best-selling car, because that's what you want. Just like John Cena. The overwhelming majority of the stuff that's being bought is being bought with John Cena's likeness on it. Now, another reason is John Cena is one of the most dedicated wrestlers there is in the planet. It's further evidenced by last year when he had the arm injury, was expected to be out 6 months to a year, came back in 3, worked his ass off to rehab it to get back there. Now, the counter argument is he's afraid to lose his spot, which granted some of it might be. It is an ever-changing world. But every time Cena's been out, he's worked his ass off to get right back into the thick of things. Another thing is, he continues to evolve and become a better in-ring wrestler, a better promo guy. If you go back and you watch John Cena from 3 years ago, he's better now than he was then. If you go back 3 years before that, he's better then. He's better 3 years ago than he was 6. If you go back 9 years, he's better 6 years ago than he was 9. He continues to improve. He continues to add the things that he does, the little nuances that he does in the ring. And yes, I know what's coming up, the 5 moves of doom, the 6-hit combo of queer, whatever you want to call it, the John Cena moveset. However, again, I'm going to go back in time. If you look at all your guys that have been on the top, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Sting, CM Punk even, they have their 5 or 6 set moves that they're going to do every match no matter what. Even guys like the Macho Man Randy Savage and Ric Flair, guys that are thought of as great work rate guys, they also did this. Even guys like Eddie Guerrero had their set moves that they get into every match. Now, the reason that Cena gets more hell for it than anybody else is his seem to go in a pattern. Granted, I understand that. But if you watch CM Punk, so do his. He goes for the knee, then he goes for the bulldog, then it's the Macho Man elbow, then to go to sleep. Ain't no difference in between what Cena does and CM Punk does. It's more acceptable from CM Punk because he works a little bit of different things in there, which John Cena does as well. Maybe not with as much regularity, but I can tell you right now, I would put John Cena up against Sting in his prime, and he has better moveset than Sting did, better than Hulk Hogan did, better than Lex Luger did. There's a lot of guys that made it to the top of the business with worse movesets than John Cena had. So that shouldn't really be a knock on him. Now another thing is he's a big game player. When it comes time for WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, those once-in-a-lifetime matchups, twice-in-a-lifetime matchups, the second one wasn't as good. When it comes to the time where you have a money match, whether it be John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, John Cena versus The Big Show, John Cena versus Triple H, John Cena versus CM Punk, John Cena versus The Rock the first time, he delivers. He goes out there and he gives you an entertaining match. Something that's going to be on top of the card, something that's going to be entertaining, and something that'll draw you in and make you care. One of the best matches that WWE did in the last 5 years was the Money in the Bank match with Cena and CM Punk. It wasn't all CM Punk, it was John Cena too. He is a lot better, and even last year, the Daniel Bryan match was an excellent match. Now what happened after the match kind of shit on it and made you forget how good the actual match was, but that match was great, and Cena's involvement in it was great. You could say all you want about Daniel Bryan. I'm a huge fan of his. However, when you don't have two people to do the dance, you're just stepping on your feet. And John Cena steps it up when it comes to situations where he's in a big-time money moment, whether it be against Edge, Batista, all these guys we've mentioned. John Cena gives his best effort and gives you one of, if not the match of the night. He's a hard act to follow, to be honest with you. Now, my final point, and I think the best point of it all, John Cena came in the very highly touted class of 2002. You had him, Randy Orton, Batista, Brock Lesnar, World's Greatest Tag Team, Haas and Benjamin, and some other guys that came in right around the same time. All of them had the potential to be breakout superstars. A lot of them made their way up to the top of the card. Out of all of them, John Cena was, and still is, the best bet to be the face of the company. I mean, Randy Orton had attitude issues. Dave Batista, he got pushed to the roof, and as soon as he got there, he decided to take a powder after a couple of years. Brock Lesnar, he got pushed to the moon. As soon as his contract came up, he left and went to UFC, went to NFL, gave up on the WWE. Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas never really were in the conversation, but the guys that he really, his other three contemporaries, Orton, who his backstage issues have done more harm for his career than he ever done for himself, because he could have been right up there with John Cena and looked at it the same light as John Cena, as the face of the company, but he overthrew that himself. That's why John Cena is a better option than him, because John Cena can be more trusted. You give John Cena the world title, he's not going to have a drug suspension. He's not going to have an issue where he shits in somebody's bag and gets in trouble for it. Dave Batista, another great option. Giant, huge guy, powerhouse, great charisma. Didn't really connect as good. Got a little bit of the stardom, left soon after. I mean, we're looking at 3 years ago he left, so he left 7 years into it. Which, granted, it's a decent amount of time. However, for a guy to be on top, they're going to want him around more than that. And Dave, unfortunately, he didn't quite have the passion that Cena does. He wanted to go do movies and other things. Same with Brock Lesnar. As soon as it came time for Brock Lesnar's contract to be up, he was ready to leave. He was ready to give the NFL a chance. He was ready to do UFC. Even now, when he's come back, and they've thrown tons of money at him, he only does certain appearances a year. How many times have I heard people say, I wish that Brock Lesnar was a full-time wrestler? You know why Brock Lesnar's not a full-time wrestler? Because he doesn't want to be. You know who does want to be? John Cena. John Cena wants to be on every single Monday Night Raw, and if it was up to him, he'd probably be on every single Saturday or Friday Night SmackDown. I almost said Saturday Night's Main Event. I don't know why. The guy absolutely craves being that top guy, and that's the kind of attitude you need to be the top guy. That's the kind of guy that you need as your face of the company. That's the guy that is the face of the WWE. Like it or not, he's the guy that has brought the WWE to where they are now and kept them to where a place where they're probably as strong now as they were. I would say they're actually stronger now than when they first gave him the ball. But basically, that's my opinion in it. I know everybody's going to have some counter arguments to what I've said. Feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this new segment, if you think it's a good idea or not. But anyway, my name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.